guys, it is Wednesday today. I actually filmed a 3-minute clip on Monday that I accidentally deleted. Oops. Introing you all into this video, but this is going to be kind of my experience with my first set of midterms for summer term at Michigan. We do like a baby warm-up kind of summer term, only 10 credits, a couple pretty like rigorous classes, and then the rest are more just introducing you into the dental field, so they're not too bad. But we have a midterm this Friday in head and neck anatomy for the lab practical portion, a midterm Monday for like the lecture kind of content, conceptual stuff for head and neck anatomy, and then a midterm Tuesday for biomaterials, which is like physics-y, which is not my strong suit. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you guys mostly not really through the study process, but just showing you a little bit of how I'm preparing, and then mostly at the end telling you guys how it went, things good and bad, all that, just kind of letting you know how midterms go. I'm in my family's basement now. That was one thing that's definitely helped my mood a lot, is just getting out of my bedroom. My mom and I are alternating between having the basement because it's a really nice space with our lake view out there. We are quite lucky to have that, so it's just very bright down here, and there's like a table here I can sit at. There's obviously couches back there, and then there's 2 different seating things outside, so lots of options. I usually start my morning outside, and then I come in here, and then I go to the couch, and I come back in here. Sometimes I go upstairs, so that's that. But I am going to be doing a morning routine video soon as well, just so that you kind of get a feel for what my mornings are like during summer term. But for now, it's just going to be more vlogs. I hope you guys are liking them. Just another little thing I want to pop in here to say, if you noticed, there are ads on my videos now. I'm very excited that I was able to become monetized. You need 4,000 watch hours within a year and 1,000 subscribers. So I finally hit those requirements. I'm really proud. I've had the channel since winter of my junior year of college, so I've been working at it for a while, and I appreciate your support. If you choose to watch the ads, no worries, whatever you feel like doing. But yeah, watching videos all the way through supports me a lot, and watching ads all the way through also supports my channel a lot. But either way, I just appreciate your support and you watching it all. So I hope you all are having a lovely day, and we will get into the rest of the video. Sorry that the intro got deleted before. For those of you that like seeing the weekly outlook, here's what it is. I recorded a podcast on Sunday, just finished a group project meeting, and I have a Bible study later, like I said, 2 classes to do tomorrow, and then a lunch and learn for Alpha Omega, which I'm super excited about, and then I'll have the whole afternoon to study again. Live session for anatomy, dental anatomy office hours that I need to go to this week, and then again all of Wednesday to study, and then Thursday a live class, and then this is self-taught dental anatomy, and then more time to study before the exam that I'm probably going to start around 1:30 on Friday. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you're all doing very well. I figured I'd pick up the camera again today just to fill you in on how my prepping's been going, kind of what I've been doing, how I've been feeling and all. I'll try to keep it pretty brief, but you know me, I tend to ramble on, give you lots of details, but when I'm watching videos, I like all the details. Hopefully you do too. I went for a walk this morning, and then quick meditation, 5 minutes, and I always have like a little, sorry there was a bug, pre-breakfast breakfast. Like I had my breakfast in 2 parts. Anyway, so I had my first breakfast was a bowl of cereal, and now I'm just having a protein bar and some watermelon. I'm outside if you couldn't tell from the sounds and stuff. But I went to my live class 9 to 10, and then we have office hours for dental anatomy that I'm gonna go to today at 11, just because apparently they're gonna be helpful today, and she's supposed to really go through specific things on the typodonts. So fingers crossed that that's helpful. If it's not, I'll just log off. But I'm going to be studying a little bit for the next 30-40 minutes pretty much, and then yeah, I like to start my mornings out here. Absolutely beautiful, so really couldn't get much better. I just kind of set all my stuff down here, and I sit in this little chair here and do my work. So I'm going to do a little bit more studying with the cadavers, and not cadavers, but cadaver images, and fill you guys in a minute or so about kind of my reviewing and what I've done up to this point. Again, the exam is Friday afternoon. Hey guys, it's 11 a.m. on Friday. Woke up around 8:30, did my usual morning routine, and I'm taking the exam around 1:15, maybe literally 1, I don't know, it opens at 1, so probably pretty dang close to 1 because I want to get it over with. But I just wanted to quickly show you guys what I was doing today as like last minute review, I guess. I made this note sheet on my laptop. This is just when I was going through the cadaveric images, things I frequently missed, I wrote down here. That way I can kind of make sure I look these over quickly before the exam. And then this is like other things, like second order things that I missed a couple times that I just want to quickly refresh again on before the exam. And then I just wrote down all the cranial nerves one more time. And I went over my frequently missed things on the cadavers, again, like blacked out, and then like revealing the answer to test myself. And I went through and drew out, I don't know if I showed you guys the like arteries and veins in the neck. I don't know if I showed you. I don't think I did. I feel like I did it. So I just drew these out off of like referencing to check with like our class notes, but pretty much just off of a Google image. I just like copy it, trace it, and then delete the picture pretty much. So like external jugular and internal jugular, and then the internal and external carotid branches. I'm gonna quickly go over my midterm practical Anki one more time sometime before 1 p.m. But right now I'm just gonna do something to keep myself busy because I have so much time to kill. I wish the exam was open in the morning period, but I know it's better for people for it to be in the afternoon for people in different time zones, so I get it, but I would just rather be done with it because once I'm done, then it's time to flip into the mode for studying for the written, like lecture-based midterm. That's on Monday morning. Hey guys, I figured I would update you one more time tonight. Friday night, I finished the exam, like I said, around 1:30, and we did end up getting our scores back this evening. I did okay, I got a B, so that's all right in the middle. Good with that. Since I'm not planning on specializing, once you're in dental school, you really just can focus on like learning the material and understanding how it's going to connect to your patients and like case-based questions and stuff like that, which is more what I'm focusing on rather than like trying to get 100% on everything. So that was pretty good, and that gives me some leeway. You need above a D to pass the class and not have to remediate or anything, so it gives me a little bit of wiggle room to maybe if I do worse on the next thing, I can still be like in the middle range. So I will chat with you guys, I don't know, maybe this weekend while I'm studying, but definitely after the midterm on Monday and after the other one on Tuesday. Hey guys, it's Sunday. I'm taking the exam sometime tomorrow morning. It's my birthday today. I am 22. Super excited. Such a awesome age, I feel like. Because 21 just gives like a college vibe. Like 22, like you are grown up, like you're an adult now. So I'm excited about that age, but today, like I said, exam is going to be tomorrow morning for the anatomy, head and neck, like written lecture-based content. Today, I'm just going through all 6 lectures, reviewing the learning objectives that they like wrote info out for, and then like having that on my laptop. And then on my iPad, I have my like study sheets that I made, so I'm just kind of reading over those. And then I'm going through a Quizlet that an older dental student made for each section, and then I'm starring the ones that I miss. And then I'm gonna go over my Anki eventually, which is just like 40 or 50, maybe less cards. That is like questions I frequently missed that are like test sample questions that they've given us in lecture and stuff. And then there's also this study guide kind of like question sheet that they gave us. They do like 5 or 6 review questions, like I said, at the end of every live session that we have twice a week. So a classmate compiled them all into one Google Doc for us with answers at the bottom. So I'm gonna take this as kind of like a practice test once I finish all my reviewing in a couple hours here. Since it is my birthday, since I studied yesterday, and since first set of midterms are just so odd that like you just don't really know what to study, I'm planning to just kind of stop around 7 or something and just hang out with my family for the evening. Did a lot of baking yesterday. I made some zucchini bread and muffins for those, and then some chocolate chip cookies. So that was kind of my fun birthday. I just picked up my birthday drink from Starbucks. It was cute. They wrote like happy birthday on it. I got the Trenta size because it's free, like whatever size you want. So I don't think I'm gonna finish all of that today, but just wanted to update you guys on the studying, and I will talk to you tomorrow after the exam. Hey guys, it's like vlogception. I'm editing that part right now. But it is Monday, and I'm not going to talk to you too much right now, but I did take the exam already, and just some initial thoughts. There was a lot of questions that were like super specific that I was like, yikes. And like, I think I picked the right answers and stuff. We don't have our scores back yet. I'm assuming by this evening we'll have them posted. The reason, even though it's an online exam, that we don't get the scores right away, because it's like multiple choice, so the system knows your grade, but is because the professors want to review it, and if there's a question that every person gets wrong, it's probably not like a fair question kind of thing, and maybe they would like count it for less points or something, I think is like the main reason. Or if anyone has like extreme technical difficulties where they can't take it in the exam window, then maybe they would leave it ungraded for longer, that way that person can take it, stuff like that. So we don't have our scores yet, but it was fine, and I think that I learned a bit about how I can study better next time. I will get more into that tomorrow, Tuesday, for you all after I take the Biomaterials midterm, which is the last one for this video. I will let you know overall thoughts, and also I asked questions on Instagram from you guys about what you wanted to hear about in this video, anything in addition to kind of what I already said. So I will be answering those at the end of the video as well. If you are curious, watch till the end so you can see questions get answered about midterms and studying and all. So tonight I'm going to get on a Zoom with a couple of my friends, and we're going to study for the Biomaterials midterm, just because there is like some math type problems, like you have to be able to use certain equations, and I'm not the best at that, so I want to go through it with people, that way I know that I know how to solve them. And then other than that, right now I kind of let myself take a break. I finished the exam like an hour ago, and today all I really have left on my schedule, I can put a screenshot here of my to-do list, but I want to obviously study for the midterm tomorrow morning, and then I have to do the last lecture for the midterm because he just posted it. And then I also want to start looking at the head and neck anatomy section 7, because there was 6 on the midterm, so section 7 for head and neck anatomy, because our live session for that will be Wednesday, and I'm going to be busy Tuesday night, so I can't do it then. So that's the kind of agenda for today, studying, and then also trying to do some head and neck for Wednesday's class. But I will talk to you guys later tonight when I get my score, maybe tomorrow, who knows. Hello, it is, I don't even remember, midterms are done, Tuesday. Yeah, so I just finished the Biomaterials midterm literally like a minute or two ago, and that one checked right away. So I know what I got on that, and then obviously I got my score back yesterday evening for the last of the anatomy midterms, and I just wanted to sit down like I told you guys at the end of this video and give you a few quick takeaways from my first midterm experience, and then also answer your questions on Instagram. So main takeaways is that I'm very consistent. I got around the same scores on all my midterms. I think that shows that I was studying at about that effort level kind of thing, and also that my understanding, like it just was very like that was the level it was at. It wasn't like exceptional, but it wasn't like below the requirements kind of thing, like it was kind of right in the middle. And I guess that's good because it tells you like nothing was like a fluke, whether it was like I should have done better or I should have done worse kind of thing. So I think it's good that my scores were consistent, and specifically for anatomy, I think I really learned that we will be asked a lot of the specifics about things, and that it's going to be beneficial for me if I treat the class and like my class flow for how I go about each lecture more like I was doing towards the end of the material, because I remembered like the last couple lectures, obviously they were more recent, but they were also harder than the first couple. I knew those better than the first ones because I didn't make my study sheet and stuff, and I didn't kind of review them after I made it kind of thing. So I know how I want to be different going into the second half of this semester and be different and more prepared for finals. For anatomy, it's not going to be cumulative, so our final is just on the second half of material, but for biomaterials it's going to be covering the whole year, so what we just took now plus the next half of the material. So for that class, study-wise, I would just say that I'm probably going to do what I did for this one because it turned out fine, and that class in particular is only 1 credit and it's really tough, so if I can get a passing grade in that, I'll be happy. But what I did is I just printed out the study guide that Alpha Omega made for that. It's a dental fraternity. I'm planning on joining it, but that one is like especially academic focused. They're all pretty academic focused because it's a graduate school program, but they have some study guides that they're letting the D1s use while we like figure out what groups we want to join and all. So that was really helpful, and I basically made that into a Quizlet. And one of the big takeaways for studying in general is it truly barely helps you if you use other people's resources only. So if I would have just like read over that AO study guide a bunch of times, I really wouldn't have taken anything away. If I would have used a Quizlet that someone else made, I really wouldn't have learned that much. Like how with Anki, if I was using that D2's deck for all the head and neck anatomy, I wasn't getting anything out of it. You really have to be active with your learning, and you really do need to make them yourself, make your own study aids. It's nice to have kind of a breakdown like that study guide to start with, because it like puts everything in text format, because our slides are just like a couple words and like a graph. Like there's not much there to like know. You have to like write down what he's saying and stuff for biomaterials. I keep bouncing between classes, sorry, hopefully you can keep up. But oh yeah, so the main takeaway is that you need to be really active with your studying, and using other people's materials is nice to check if you missed anything, but that shouldn't be the way you're studying. At least for me personally, I don't really learn much if I just use someone else's Anki or someone else's Quizlet or someone else's study guide. It's nice to reference and compare to your own materials that you made to see if you missed any key points, but making the Quizlet myself forced me to like very actively read through that study guide and try to understand the concept so I could form like questions to put on my Quizlet cards. So it ended up being around like 120 cards, which is very manageable for the whole midterm. And then I just literally learned that last night and this morning because the midterm didn't open till 10 a.m. Took it, did okay. There's, for biomaterials, it's like some like trig and calculus kind of concepts, but pretty easy, just like a cosine type of equation, or an equation where you use like ln of whatever to like reverse like e to the whatever. Does that make sense? So like not the worst math, but just math I haven't done in a while. And like area under a curve, you don't have to solve it, but you have to like understand the concepts. For like toughness and hardness and stiffness and brittle and ductile for like different materials. And it's funny because like we think this class is so tricky, but apparently you take biomaterials almost every semester, at least for the next like 2 years, because the D2 said that they're in their third right now, and they've been in dental school for, this is their fourth semester, so they've had biomaterials nearly every semester. So we're gonna get familiar with it, and I'm never gonna like it probably, but it's interesting when you're learning about the biomaterials for dentistry and like which ones are used when and why. I just don't like learning the details of like the physics behind the why. More so just, it's a better conductor, it's more strong. Like that I like to know, but I don't like to then look at the graphs and compare the strengths. Like I would rather just have someone tell me, but it's good to be able to reason through and understand things yourself. So I know why we're learning it, but it's not my favorite. Like I said, I'm doing a whole podcast episode about midterms and kind of probably also a little bit about just like overall how the first half of the semester went. That will be up on Monday, which is the Monday before this is up, so it'll be live for you guys to listen to if you want. It's just the Dental Download Podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, it's everywhere if you want to listen. So I'm going to answer those Instagram questions now. I'm going to pull them up. Sorry for if there's like noises outside, but I'm going to just read the questions that I got really quick and then answer kind of a summary. So someone said, how do you stay so self-disciplined? Then another said, maybe talk about how you studied, how many hours you put in. Someone said, how many hours are you studying for each midterm? Someone said, how are you going to study for biomaterials? LOL. It's one of my classmates. And then someone said, how you took notes in your classes, a quick rundown on how you structure your notes. And then another said, the format of the questions you get. Is there a lot of critical thinking, or is it just memorization? So I don't think I can talk about like format of tests and like that kind of thing, but it's a mix of like case-based, situation-based, patient-based, and then some that are more like, is this the definition for A or B kind of thing. So there's obviously a mixture, and some are more like easy and some are harder, and that's how they can differentiate between the A and the B and the C students, you know, because they can't all be super hard and they can't all be super easy. So it's kind of a mix. For staying self-disciplined, I don't think I'm all that self-disciplined. I'm working on it, and I think you're gonna get your work done when you need to get it done, and for some people it's better mentally for them if they do that spread out, and for other people they can do it a couple days before, and that adrenaline and that is what pushes them to be successful and to get it all done. So I don't think you need to change it unless it's like hurting you like mentally, or obviously if your grades are suffering, like how you study and like how long you study for and stuff. And same for hours. I wasn't like tracking. Like I said, biomaterials I didn't really start. Like I watched all the lectures, but I hadn't like studied any of it until like the day before, and it was okay. And then for head and neck anatomy, like I said in previous videos, it's weird with it being online because it's a different process and you're doing yourself a disservice if you treat it like from 9 to 10:20 I'm gonna sit and like watch the lecture and take notes. And then in my opinion, that's just kind of a waste of time, because then you have to go back and basically rewatch the lecture and pause it and take notes on your notes, which is what people do in normal dental school. They go to class, try to get as much as they can, but then they go home and like nearly rewatch the lectures or do all these things. But with it being online and with it being pre-recorded, you watch the lectures and pause them as you go, so you kind of don't have that first like hour or 2 hours in class like you usually would. This is kind of like you're studying right away, so it's different with the online format in that regard. So my in-class time is also my study time, and even though it's like 2 hours of lecture, it might take me like 3 or 4 hours to go through because I'm pausing it. And the way that I now like to do it is I make my study guide for that lecture as I'm watching the lecture. I can't really tell you how many hours. Like I said, it's maybe 4 per lecture, and then like you have to go back and study it all. And like I make Quizlets based on like questions I frequently miss, because we have practice questions. They give us practice questions at the end of our like office hour live session. That's what I studied, and then I just quiz myself on my like study guide, going through that a bunch of times and using the practice questions. That's really all you can do. But I know going forward, like I said, I want to be more active in making those study sheets as I'm watching the lectures and then reviewing them, and starting to make my Quizlets earlier are kind of things I want to do. And then I'll quickly show you my study sheet and then we'll wrap up the video. So that is my study sheet. I just figured it was better to do a screen recording and show you, but I hope you liked it. I obviously had to skip over some stuff because if there's ever any images that are property of our professors in the school and stuff, I obviously can't show them, and especially if they're cadavers, that's disrespectful to the donors. That's why I don't show my screen in my lectures at all, because I'm not allowed to, and it's not respectful or right to do. But I hope you guys liked this video, and like I said, be sure to listen to the podcast if you want more perspective about how dental school has been going and how midterms went. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.